order. To the pledge to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Thayer. Thompson.
Here.
Trimble.
Here.
Flaker. Here. Becker. Here. McNally.
Here.
Gobine.
Here.
Bamber.
Here.
Baker.
Here. Any changes or corrections to the agenda? And approval.
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Minutes from April 8th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from April 8th, regular meeting as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the minutes of April 8th, regular meeting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. There are no requests to be on the agenda. Public comments once. Public comments twice. Public comments 3 times.
So?
Okay, that closes public comments. New business, Bavarian Comfort Care.
Just want to update everybody on that. Within the next 2 weeks, they will be breaking ground for the new addition, which will be about 21 rooms. That will be on your right side if you're pulling in. And I've met with Dan Billings, he's the wastewater treatment supervisor. He gave me the portion that is going to be returned back to the DDA. This would be for the assessment of the sewer, which we're paying on the bond from 2003. So when a new business has to get hooked up and that portion gets reimbursed back to the DDA, that portion is going to be $26,565. So I thought that would be really good that we can add to our revenue column for some money in the budget. No other update on Bavarian other than he said, looks like things are gonna start, let's say within the next 30 days to be safe.
Okay. Anything more of Bavarian Comfort Care? Let's move on to Saginaw Futures.
Rose and I had a meeting with Steve Jonas from Saginaw Future and Brenda Flory from here, Michigan. And that is she works for the state. It's the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. And we had an extremely nice meeting of what Saginaw Future has to offer, what Saginaw Future can and cannot do for businesses, and pretty much about everything from block grants to business development to facades to monies that are available that people probably aren't even aware of what Saginaw Future does. So during the meeting, because a lot of it was green to me, and I'm sure a lot of it would be green to you guys too, but they've helped many businesses in our town, Amigo Mobility, Orchid, yeah, and I think there were some other ones. I brought up to them that what I would like to do is to get the businesses involved with what they have to offer, because I said, how are we going to get out there and educate what you guys have? And Steve Jonas says he doesn't have time to go door to door, and I don't have time to go door to door. So I'm looking at the months of September or October, and the letter will come from Saginaw Future and Pure Michigan to have a workshop, probably right here in the, in this room here in the boardroom. And we invite businesses, existing businesses that are here, to come in maybe for an hour, hour and a half, to learn a little bit more about Saginaw Future, what they have to offer, what grants would be available, what funds would be available through both of these organizations. And then I thought that the DDA would buy a lunch. You know, if we get 20 people that come in, 20 businesses, I'll have Subway lunches here in the boxes. If we go from like 10 till 11:30, if they want to stay here and socialize a little bit with any board member or whoever, the township manager, township supervisor, that they could do that. But it probably only about an hour, hour and a half. Sit here, eat their lunch, grab their lunch and go, whatever they wanted to do. So I think it's an opportunity that we keep hearing that, well, what are we doing for Bridgeport? What's this doing? This is an opportunity that I kind of came up with the idea of having a meeting, as I said, and so that they can learn more of what Saginaw Future has to offer. If they come, they come. If they don't, they can at least, they can't say that we're not trying to help businesses and find different ways of finding monies, different ways of finding grants and stuff like that. So come on over for like an hour seminar, grab a lunch, and learn more about what Saginaw Future has to offer.
So I assume you would want an RSVP?
We would do an RSVP. The letter would probably go out if we do it in September. We're picking September and October because kids are back to school, vacations are kind of done. They'll probably send out a couple letters. Start hitting it maybe 2 in August, 2 in September for the, so we talked about that. They'll develop a packet for everybody. It's gonna cost us absolutely nothing except probably a box lunch. And they'll send out the letters on behalf of the DDA and behalf of Pure Michigan and Saginaw Future. It's a win-win. We have nothing to lose, and I really want to encourage that we go through with this. Or it doesn't have to approve it or anything like that. I just think it would be good for the community.
Do you feel it would be helpful to have it affiliated with the chamber, or do you think it needs to be specific to the DDA?
I think it would be helpful to have it affiliated with the chamber too. Now that you asked that question, yes. I haven't brought it up at the chamber or done anything like that. I wanted to bounce it off you guys first. Rose and I did attend the chamber meeting this morning, but most definitely. And they could actually do the mass mail out too from the chamber and get the letter from Tag It Along. So I'm just trying to get what information that they have available to our businesses or to residents or whoever want to learn that. And hopefully people will take advantage of something that's not going to cost them nothing and learn about what is available.
Okay. Anything more on the Saginaw Future?
What do you guys think of that?
I think it's a good idea. It's a way to help the businesses, and that's our job.
Sounds like a game plan.
I feel they've been pretty generic the last time we sat in, and maybe they could be specific with a couple of topics that maybe you know the community's interested in, like facade or signage or something, and just kind of nail down, this is truly what can happen instead of just a.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, any more discussion on Saginaw Future? Let's move on then to bridge repairs.
I happened to be down at the bridge. Bill was with us, Tanya was with us, me, and it was Spicer, Rob. And we happened to be down in that bridge area and all along this whole area here. And I noticed that on where the wood meets the cement, walking to the bridge, that there is like a, what do they call that?
Okay.
But I mean, what do they use in there?
He's calm.
They use a caulk in there, and that caulk was all like dry rotting and missing in certain areas. So you could actually stub your toe. It was like raised a little bit. So, or if somebody got their shoe caught in that, I felt it was a liability on our part. So Ruth Ann's guys went ahead and re-caulked that. And then we noticed that the lock on the one bollard was not working. We tried everything to get it work, and we could not get it to work. So contacted Daryl. Daryl he got us those locks last time. I believe he even donated them to us. He's ordered a couple locks because we can't lock the one right now.
How wide is this gap that you caulked?
Probably, well, I don't know if they did the whole thing. How big was the gap? Maybe 6,
It
7?
was, how wide or how long?
How wide?
It was maybe, it's maybe an inch or so.
It's called
Expansion.
But there was expansion material in there that had deteriorated a little bit, which it does over time. And so they just went in there and caulked that so that you get more flush.
Sounds like a pretty big gap for an expansion.
It's where the bridge meets the,
Over there.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got it all fixed. It's probably less than $50 or whatever. And I didn't take it out of the bridge repair. I just took it under general maintenance when I get the bill from Ruth Ann. But no matter, it's not that much. We just had to caulk it. I didn't want that to go unnoticed and somebody slip and fall there and we have a lawsuit on our hands. So we've re-caulked that area.
Okay. Thank you for attending to that. Move on to business Speedway.
We talked about this once before, that we had some interest of the Speedway Gas Station, had purchased the Marathon building, and in time they were going to expand and make a brand new speedway and stuff like that. Dan got a call, and also Ron has gotten a call from Practical Environmental Solutions. Going to be what they have to do to issue a work permit to a contractor. Don't even know who the contractor is. Do not even have any plans out this right now, so nothing has been turned into Ron. I just wanted to let you guys know that there's activity going on, and in the near future, we're probably going to see some expansion or some things happening there at the Speedway. Plans have not even been turned into planning and zoning or to Ron or anything yet. But the project is looking like it's going to move forward in the near future.
Any discussion on the Speedway? If there's no more on the Speedway, we'll move on to the tax tribunal for the Night's Inn.
The Night's Inn went to the tax tribunal, met with Amanda and the board, and this is for, I received this, this is for the year 2013. Their taxes were lowered, and we set money aside in our budget under tax rollback charges. We have a tax rollback charge from them that I have to send the county $5,523.91. Again, that number is $5,523.91. And there's really no getting around it or anything like that, so.
That's the only one that went to.
We may get one for 2014,
That's the only one for that year that went to the tax rate, isn't it?
so far this year, yes. There was another one, I believe, Jeff, the Kroger Plaza. They went to the tax tribunal, I think, just here recently. We won't see that for a while, the plaza down there.
we might not have enough budgeted for
What do we got in the budget, like 12 or 13,000?
6,000.
How much?
6.
6? Probably not. This is gonna take up 5,500 of it right here. No further stuff on nights in.
Okay. Any more discussion on tax tribunal for night's in? Let's move on to old business. Gas River Trail update.
Okay. Tanya will update us on that.
Not much of an update since last month. I mean, we submitted it April 1st. We did get an administrative review back, and I think the only thing they wanted was approved minutes from the March meeting. So we'll upload those, resubmit, and now we'll wait till August or September.
That's it. Okay. Any more discussion on the Gas River Trail? Let's move on to the Beautification Committee Report.
We had a meeting the first Wednesday, that would have been last week, just to kind of go over some last minute things that needed to be touched up a little bit. Tanya had, and if you guys want to look at this, this is my last copy because I had given Matt, Tanya might have a few more.
Let me see.
This is an aerial view that Tanya, based on 110 pots that we ordered, we figured about 5 down at the rock area. And Tanya did an aerial view placement on the pots. And these are basically between 75 and 90 feet apart. I went out yesterday with Matt from Ailey's, Matt Bove from Ailey's. And Tanya, you are basically right on with this right here.
Yeah.
Matt told me to tell you thank you.
You're
He
welcome.
appreciated it.
Thought it would make it easier so you're not out there moving pots
Yeah.
every week.
We actually took a measurement. He did his roller and based it on these right here with your driveways and stuff like that. We're pretty close on. There are a few properties on here that kind of gave me a hard time last year that didn't want one in there because how are they gonna cut their grass and stuff like that. And then a couple that are in a trashy area, in a trashy area, I'm not going to put out in like 2 or 3 areas. And Matt thought that would be a good idea too. People that really don't mow their grass and stuff like that, we're not putting one there. We're going to put them in a little bit different spot. But basically,
Can we let Bob know next year if you'd like one?
yeah,
Be trashy.
yeah. If you're not trashy, you'll get one. But this really helped us. They're planning, he said that the growth of them right now are really coming really, really nice. And we're planning on putting them out Wednesday or Thursday of Memorial Day weekend. So not next week, the following week. I'm gonna follow near Augie. One of us has gotta get in the truck and follow it with the light on. He's very concerned with the traffic. Even yesterday when we had the light coming down each side, I mean, people are just, they just go, they fly down that road. I asked him if he's going to need any help from some of your equipment or whatever. He did not think so. He's gonna bring 2 or 3 guys out, and they're just gonna kinda roll them off of the wherever and get them placed. He said, even though they're putting some of the old pots back in, and then the new dirt and stuff like that, they're still going to be quite heavy, and he doesn't anticipate anybody. Of course, we didn't have any theft at them at all last year, but if they're gonna cut their grass, they're gonna have to weed whack around them, which I think is probably the best thing anyway. Because you'd see some lined up here and here and here, they never put them right back in the same place. So these will probably stay exactly where we put them the first time. It looks nice.
Do you think maybe we might wanna just kind of put a little blurb, you know, the pots are coming, or flowers are coming, however you wanna do it?
Well-
So that some of the businesses know.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about talking to Jeff, but I didn't get okay. We can put something out or something in the Herald that, you know, if they could at least get their grass cut, very nice, because some of people's grass right now is like this. And the other ones are so manicured, really nice. It would help out if we could not only let them know that they're coming, Tracy, if they maybe could, if you're gonna put that out on the Constant, wherever, maybe make sure they have their grass cut or so a day before or something like that. It would make it a lot easier. Is that what you're gonna do, put it on that Constant Contact?
But then maybe the Herald, it could just define who they're from, you know how sometimes there's always questions? You
Okay.
could just, you know how he'll do those little things?
Yeah, I'll get a hold of Jeff then. He was at our meeting today, wasn't he? Yeah. He had, I think, open heart surgery or some surgery or something.
The girl from his office is meeting with me tomorrow, so we'll talk
Okay.
with her too.
Okay. Okay. But those are expected to go out a couple days before Memorial Day weekend, and then I had talked to Pat to see if his guys would still be willing to, go out and do them like every third day or something like that. So he's had a couple changes and somebody left and went somewhere. He's had a couple changes in some of the volunteers or something, but he was going to talk to them and see, and just confirm everything that they'll still water them for us. I don't see a problem, but I did talk to Pat about it. Oh, also on Beautification, we did receive from a sponsor $5,000 first payment. That check was given to Tracy and deposited. It's not gonna show up on your budget or anything right now, but that was deposited into our account. A couple things that was brought up at the beautification was trash receptacles, particularly on the left-hand side of the road if you're looking down this way east. We have one at the bench at Fort Road. We have one at the, by the Chase Bank there at the bench, the black receptacles. At the meeting, I said that I would look into that, and Rose said that we would contact Bill, our Parks and Rec. Bill, by the way, thank you a million times. Bill found 3 trash, that's what they wanted, 3 trash receptacles. And then he had to go out and just buy 1 insert. They were green, they're like the wrought iron, they were green. He had his guys paint them. They are out right now. There is one right next to the bench by Big Boy. Rose and I saw them this morning coming back. There is one right by Dollar General, and there is one right by Rob Lick's property, the old Hillier building. So there are 3 trash receptacles on the left side now, and the 2 existing that are on the right side. And that's what, I think Jan Pope had brought that up, right, Jeff? And, to see if we could get those. So those have been all taken care of, and they are out right now as we speak. And that was thanks to Bill and his guys, and I really do want to thank you. I mean, he jumped on it like that, found them, and got the stuff out. The other thing that Bill is working on for us is putting in another bench out on the Fort Road and a couple other trash receptacles and a picnic table. And that will be done rather soon, right?
Within the next 2 weeks.
Within the next 2 weeks. But the stuff out here along the highway, I believe Jan Hope had brought up when the kids are leaving school or people are walking up there, on that side particularly, we should have 2 or 3 there, and we got 3 out there.
Okay. Any more discussion on the beautification? I will conclude beautification discussion. Let's move on to the Great Lakes Discovery Center.
Steve Meiskens from the Fish and Wildlife came and visited myself and Tanya. Rose was going to go also, but that was the day of the funeral for Walter LaShore. So Rose and I met with Steve. We took him out throughout Bridgeport and over by the properties. We've been having some problems, or challenges, I should say, of the title on one parcel over at the Sheridan Road Company with First American Title. We did get a hold of the Saginaw County Courthouse. We were gonna go down there with him, but we called first, and we got all the information here from the Register of Deeds, and there was a piece of property that was Bridgeport's property, but was showing up in another gentleman's name. Am I correct?
Yeah, it was, showing up there's a 1960s deed, the last name, the guy's name was Reuben Schultz. And, anyway, long story short, he lost the land due to back taxes, and it's a tax reverted parcel that went to the county and then went to the state, and the township picked it up from the state. And the missing piece that didn't show up on the title work was the deed to the state of Michigan. And so it looked like he still held interest, and we were able to obtain the deed that granted that to the state of Michigan and the affidavits of hearing, which are part of the process through the Public Act, and I think that title should be cleared up now. But it's interesting because they're all recorded documents, but when they did their title search, they didn't show up. Being recorded documents, they should have showed up, but they didn't, so we did find them.
So now those are at the title company, and hopefully that's the only thing they're requesting, and we found their request, and it's a matter of now closing, so. Yeah. We received a very nice letter from Steve, thanking Tanya and I basically for going out. Very nice people in Bridgeport. He was treated very nicely. I tried to take him to lunch, but he had another meeting going on. He was a very nice guy, and he spent pretty much the whole day here, and we got that taken care of. So I think we're moving forward on that.
Okay, any further discussion on the Great Lakes Discovery Center? That closes that discussion then. And we have an update on the billboard.
Yeah, the billboard, I left a couple of them sitting on the tables there if you want to pass them around. At, I believe our last meeting, or 2 meetings ago, Daryl had brought up that the border of the bridge, and Rose and I went by there today too, looks pretty shabby. It's kind of painted, it's all flaking and stuff like that. It's yellow. These are, and they'll show up much brighter. He's recommending a blue or a green. I really like the blue. It kind of goes with the pictures and everything here, but I had told you guys at our last meeting, we were looking at somewhere around $1,200 to have that border painted, and it's just a matter of us picking a color, letting him get a hold of the guy that owns the property to see when he can go on there and get it painted. Munchie will have to go out there with whatever and start painting it. So I guess it's just a matter of, he thought the green or blue. He said it's hard to tell from these things right here, but it will really, really stand out nice. It's gonna look 100% better than what's out there right now anyway. Any thoughts?
I think you should let him decide.
Okay. All done with that topic. I love this. What'd you say, blue? Blue. Me too, blue. Go blue.
No.
Okay, we got blue at the end of the table.
Blue at the end of the table.
Okay. I think we're gonna go blue.
Okay. Any more discussion on the billboard? discussion? Update on the canoe launch.
Connie, you wanna?
Canoe Launch, I've got, design plans here, I'm gonna go over them with Bill after this meeting. And we're also, in the process of getting the permit application ready for the DEQ. So, we should have that ready in a couple weeks, and put it off to the DEQ, be 90-day wait on that. So if we get that back in a 90-day period, might be able to get it bid out and built yet this year. If that, process gets extended for any reason, then we might be in the spring, so. Or if, the weather doesn't cooperate, that's the other factor too, is if the site gets too wet or the river's too high, then we're, just battle, so. But we're moving along. The other canoe launch, the grant was resubmitted, and same thing, we had the application administrative review, and they were asking for the approved minutes. The reason we sent unapproved minutes, the meeting happened in March, and the minutes don't get approved till the April meeting, so it's just a common thing, so. Same thing on the other grant.
Okay, any more discussion on the canoe launch? That concludes discussion on the canoe launch today. There is no closed session. DDA coordinator's report.
Yeah, I just have a couple other things, along with the activity that's going on, the large projects, we got a couple, other things going on. The old Ron might not wanna hear this, but the old BP gas station, I was contacted by a gentleman called Paul English. He's from the Marathon Oil in Flint, and, wanted to know what the traffic counts were down in that area down there. So Tanya and I dug out some traffic counts, we got some traffic counts. He said that he had a buyer for that, he was working with a gentleman, but they wanted the traffic counts. Since then, it has closed, the sale has closed last Tuesday. There will be a new gas station going in where the old BP and brand new convenience store down there on the north end of Dixie where BP exists right now. I don't know what the name of it's gonna be or anything like that, but told him that he needs to get his plans and stuff submitted to Ron, and they're moving forward on a gas station and convenience store opening up down there. We've also had some activity, again, this is just activity, nothing concrete, nothing to hide. Mr. Bewley's been in from I'm gonna call it the old Bridgeport Country Club building only, was contacted by a gentleman for a fine dining restaurant. The gentleman did come in and talk to Ron. Both Ron and, we'll just see what'll happen and transpire on that deal there. Just activity going on. Winninger Fire Protection has bought the property at 6855 Dixie Highway, which is the old Bewley building or whatever it's called. What was that called down there? Huh? The Unique Instruments building on Junction Road, where they were selling cars and stuff out there. Hal Winninger, who owns Winninger Fire Protection, is moving his business into that location. So it will be, he's got to have, he came in and he talked to Ron about, he has to put a fire suppression system in there, which that's what he does anyway. But he wanted to know if the DDA would help in any way because he needs water from the road to the building. And Ron told him to give me a call. This was probably a couple weeks ago. I have not, he knows me very, very well. I know Hal very well. I have not gotten a call from Hal. Ron kind of explained the situation to him, but he said, give Steve a call and you'll probably have to make a presentation in front got another call from, I had a lead from Stephanie Pop. Met a lady who is a business owner in Frankenmuth. She is looking for a place for dog training. She wants to have a building where she is actually doing dog training for people. I have been in contact with her. We're gonna go out next week and look at properties that might fit her needs. She had expressed some interest in the Carpenter Plaza laundromat area, which there's no power, no nothing there. I do not recommend that at all. We're not in business to lease property anyway, so I'm gonna try and find her a spot somewhere. We're gonna go out and into the area and see what is available and what her thoughts and stuff are. So there's been quite a lot of calls coming in and a lot of activity going on, which is kind of nice.
Steve, what's going on, if you know, down at the corner of Airport and Dixie?
That was,
Wastewater pump station.
yeah, that's what Dan's been working on real heavily, has, yeah.
They're upgrading the pump station down there for the wastewater plant.
And that's what's going on across the street too, by the.
Oh, you mean,
Oh, you're talking storage place.
I didn't know whether they were connected or.
Oh, you're doing the pump station, and you're talking storage place,
I was
Rob
talking
Schoen's
both. I was
place?
talking about
Okay.
that was on my list here on the other one, but
Do you have any information on that?
I don't, no, other than, on the storage, I do.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, Bridgeport mini storage is expanding, and, who was in, Gilmore? What's his first? Tim Gilmore was in, I believe he's gonna be the one laying the foundation and stuff like that, so they're actually expanding, that's been all approved and everything. But across the street, it was the, what was it?
Pump station.
The pump
I
station.
just wondered if they were connected.
I don't think so.
Right across the street from each other.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of growth going on there too with Bridgeport Mini Storage, they're adding on. Growth, 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 growth. Other than that, I am all set.
Roberta, comments?
I do have one comment. I wanted to share with you that, the Cub Scouts did a tour of Ailey's, and they were allowed to see the Bridgeport pots. They were very excited. And, I guess they're beautiful. That's it.
Eugene? Augie?
Good.
Karen? Really?
Pick the color of the sign and she's all set. Mark that down with me.
Yeah, I have nothing.
I have nothing either.
No, I can even have
We're done with this. We're done with this.
Did we get Barry?
Barry?
Wow, what's going on here, guys?
Sun's shining, we wanna get up and see.
Look at
it.
40 minutes.
Away.